Hello everyone. I welcome you all to ATM Creations. Let's start with today's challenge. See, according to me, there are a few things which we all need to quit doing. Out of which the first one is we need to quit blaming others and giving excuses for not being able to do what is good to us or for not taking action towards achievement of our goals. Let me tell you some of the examples from the experiences I have had. I go to a lot of colleges and do training programs. Some of them would be colleges where majority of the students are from a rural part of the country. So for them, improving their English language communication would be challenging. When I do training programs, they would be very silent. And when I ask why are they silent, then they slowly come out of their fear and tell me that, "Ma'am, my English is not that good, madam. That is why I'm silent." I said, okay. And then she would be telling that to me in English, that my English is not good. And I tell them, okay, fine, your English is not good. Okay, fine. In 10 minutes, I'll help you understand that your English is good. And then few people will say, I don't know English at all, madam. That also they'll tell me only in English. They would say, no, madam, we all studied in the local language medium school, not English medium school. So we don't know English at all, madam. Oh, you don't know English, okay. And as a trainer, I know only English and Tamil, okay? I don't know any other language. But I have done programs in all the states of our country. Obviously, I do training programs only in English. And when students say that I don't know English at all, madam, I said, okay, now tell me, I have some questions. If you don't know English, I really want to know how much you don't know. And then they smile at me when I ask them the question, how much you don't know. And I don't know that also, madam. I said, okay. Now I'm going to ask you some questions, so answer those questions. I'll assess myself. And when I first asked these questions to a set of students, they all were second year students. So, which means they all have completed first year and they have entered year 2. So, I asked them a few questions. The first question was, in what language do teachers teach you the subjects you learn? The answer is English, madam. I said, okay. So you understand what your teachers are teaching you? They say, yes, ma'am. Okay. The next question. In what language you write your examination? English, madam. And you all have passed and cleared your first year subjects? And unanimously they say, yes, madam, we all have cleared, no arrears. I said, that's amazing. So your teachers teach you in English, you write your examination in English, and you still say you don't know English. And then they don't have answer for this question. Now they all would be silent. So I'll give them an exercise then. And some students would say that those are all subjects. No, madam, subjects we understand. General English only, it's a problem. I said, "Ah, okay." Um, I said, okay, fine. Let us forget about English learning. That's what I tell them. And then I give them an exercise. And the exercise would be like this: think about the most favorite thing, favorite event, or something that happened in your childhood, which is your most favorite event, happy event, it should be. Okay? And write about that event. And I would tell them, I'm only going to give you 10 minutes time. And trust me, in that 10 minutes, these kids who said, I just don't know English, and that to general English I don't know at all. So the students who said that end up writing one full page about their favorite event in English. It may have lot of spelling mistakes, grammatical errors, all those doesn't matter. I just wanted to help them understand few aspects. So this is what I asked them to do. So once 10 minutes is over, I'll ask the students to stop writing and ask them to look at their notebook and just say, have they been able to write something in English? Yes or no? And then few students would tell me, Ma'am, I think this has a lot of See, whether there is mistakes or not doesn't matter. Tell me if you have been able to write a few words in English. Yes or no? 100% of the students say yes. All of them say yes. And then I'll ask them to close their notebooks, sit and listen to what I'm saying. So I help them understand. See, your teachers are teaching the subjects in English, which means your English listening is good. You're reading textbook, so your English reading is also there. I gave you a topic and asked you to write, you're able to write. So listening is done, reading is done, writing is done. How come you say that you can't speak? And then I tell them, a person who speaks in a particular language may not be able to write things in the same language. But a person who has ability to write in a particular language will 200% have ability to speak in the same language. So I told them, when you can write, you can also speak. So now none of you can say, I cannot speak in English. So it is not about your language ability, something else is bothering you. And then someone will say, my vocabulary is not okay, madam. My sense of grammar is not okay. I said, leave off all the vocabulary and grammar. Who cares about it? As long as you can get your message across, that's fine. That's enough. And after taking them out with lot of questions to help them understand what is stopping them from speaking in English, finally they would come and say, Ma'am, it is not about vocabulary, it is not about grammar, but it is about fear for criticism. Though I understand what do they mean by fear for criticism, I want them to speak out, so I'll act as if I didn't understand and then ask, please explain what do you mean by fear for criticism. No, madam, I'm okay to speak in English, but when I talk in English, I know I'm going to make mistakes. Um, but people around will make fun of me, madam. Very bad people around. So that is why I'm not speaking in English. I said, what? You don't speak in English, you don't take action to improve your language skills because people around you are bad? Is that what you're saying? And then the students will be like, exactly, madam, that is exactly what we are saying. I said, okay. And then I explain them why people criticize and then help them understand why it is required to quit blaming people and why it is required to quit giving excuses by blaming people. And then I tell them, let's imagine this way. All of you are trying to speak in English, trying to improve your English language ability. And let's say I am the person who is criticizing you. And listening to my criticisms, you stop speaking in English altogether. So, in that kind of a situation, who is losing and who is winning? If you stop speaking in English, you are losing. As a critic, I am winning because my intention is to stop you from doing anything good for yourself. And that is why I criticize. And if you really stop doing it, I am winning and you are losing. And then I'll also give them an alternative scenario where they are trying to improve their English speaking ability. Let them make mistakes, no problem. And I tell them, as a critic, I'm passing some negative comments about the English that you are speaking. But my negative comments doesn't seem to bother you at all. You are continuing to speak in English, you are continuing to improve yourself. In that kind of a situation, who is winning and who is losing? So when I ask this question, every single student says, we are winning and you are losing, ma'am. I said, that's correct. So now, if you keep blaming me, because in that situation, I'm playing the role of a critic. So if you keep blaming others and keep giving excuses by blaming others for not doing something that is going to help you progress in life, who's at fault? Not the others. You are at fault. So, in my personal experience, what I have understood is there are a group of people who are existing in this world whose primary job, no, at times their only job, is to criticize others. So, according to me, what I would say is let them do their job, you do yours. So, instead of blaming others and giving excuses for not doing something good to yourself. Quit blaming and also quit giving excuses. And when I say this, students will have a question. Mom, why are these people criticizing, Mom? Why can't they keep their mouth shut? He said, poor fellows. They know what you are doing is good and what you are doing is phenomenal, and you are an action taker. You have goals, and you are on a daily basis with a whole lot of discipline. You are taking action. People who criticize, they clearly know all of these about you. They want to succeed too. But these critics, they don't want to get out of their comfort zone to succeed. And when they look at you, they actually feel guilty. And all of these happen unconsciously in their mind, not consciously. So, what happens is, instead of transforming into a person like you, they would feel so insecure for not setting goal, for not being disciplined, for not taking action. They feel so insecure of being alone. So what they do is they criticize you and they'll make you stop doing what you're trying to do to have you around for them to feel safe. So basically, what kind of people will criticize you is people who think you are doing great but they are unable to do, people who are not willing to get out of their comfort zone, people who always want things to happen to them rather than working towards making things happen to them. They want things to happen to them automatically. So these kind of people cannot take action but always be criticizing. Their job is only that. And then few of them have asked me questions like, why can't such people raise their standards to do like what we are doing, ma'am? Why are they criticizing? I said, you need to understand something. They don't do any of these consciously. Everything happens unconsciously. So these are the people who really need help from mental health professionals. But there is a lot of stigma around seeking mental health professionals' help, no? If you have cold, cough, and fever, we happily go to a physician, get our body checked, take the medicine prescribed. We do all of that. But when it comes to mental health, we think a lot about it. There is a common idea among most of the people. Only mad people will go, "Arey, no, 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 that's wrong. Only normal people can consult mental health professional. Mad people will not understand." So the whole point that I want to convey to all of you is quit blaming others and quit giving excuses by blaming others for not pursuing towards your goal. You taking action is your responsibility. So mandala for this challenge is done. Go ahead, recreate it, share it with me.